XPG Spectrix D50 modules with a frequency of DDR4-3200 and 3600 have a latency of 18-20-20, an average indicator for such a frequency. There are also models with a frequency of 4133 MHz and latency of 19-23-23, operating at a voltage of 1.4 volts. After installation, 2 XMP modules are available in the BIOS of the board, at 3200 and 3600 MHz. XPG Spectrix D50 modules with a frequency of DDR4-3200 and 3600 have a when installing, it should be taken into account that the height of the memory module is an impressive 44 mm, and in our test stand there were difficulties with installing the second module, over which the Cooler Master Wraith Ripper cooler hung. In general, the gap between the radiator and motherboard selected, taking into account such high modules, and if you first install the memory, and then CPU cooler, then difficulties will not arise, but if the cooler is already installed, the clearance for installation next to the socket slots is not enough, it is necessary to remove the cooler, memory set, and then install the cooler back. Let's put aside the hypocrisy and ask the question, who said that a serious workstation should be a gloomy gray design? Today, with the mass transition to remote control, few people will want to put an ugly noisy box at home. A serious workplace may well be beautiful, inspiring the operator to creative feats, with RGB lighting, especially since all motherboards and cases for high-end desktops have all this in abundance. In the first test, we come across an abnormally high-performance system with DDR4-2666. Despite the fact that the voltages, delays and other BIOS settings remained unchanged, this result makes you think. The MetaTrader 5 platform is known to every algo trader. It is a free package for stock trading with its own programming language for trading robots. Well, actually, large-scale computing is where the fast memory of the XPG Spectrix D50 shows a significant gain in speed. Given that the recalculation of parameters can take several days, but all the data fits in 16 GB of RAM, this test clearly demonstrates that RAM modules in such machines need to be selected by frequency, and not by volume. A free package for nonlinear video editing, Davinci Resolve 17 needs no introduction. This is an amazingly powerful and convenient platform, loved by thousands of video bloggers and used by Hollywood professionals. The source of our video contains both video footage and static frames, so the difference in rendering time is about 20%, which in general is also significant. When choosing a game memory set in a workstation, it should be remembered that for today's processors, memory frequencies above 3200 MHz are served as easy, manufacturer-approved overclocking, so when using such memory, it is not superfluous to set load line calibration to 5 or high in the BIOS of the board. In our case, this was the key to stable operation on long loads.